This lovely, lovely little kit is a pre-release. We are releasing Final Fantasy this weekend, or I guess we aren't, Wizards is.
And who's we?
And we is Enter the Battlefield.
And who's me?
Look, is Gabe.
And who's...
And me is Mari. And you is Gabe.
Yes, me is Gabe. And
but
you is
me and you is relative terms.
Yes.
So
we're off to a great start so far.
We're doing phenomenal, you guys.
Yes.
I'm gonna start correcting this bad boy, but we are hosting, we being Enter the Battlefield. This is sick.
Dude, I haven't seen this.
This is amazing.
That's so cool.
Look
at this place.
Look at this.
Oh, look at that. That's so cool.
The little guys on the end. Did you see the little guys on the end tab?
I didn't see the guys on these. Oh, there's the party members.
And look at the little tokens on the end. I'll punch these out and then show you guys.
We've already lost the forest for the
yeah. If you're wondering where you can get this lovely kit, stop! That's so sick.
That is awesome.
We are hosting here at Enter Battlefield in Newmarket, in the Newmarket location, and also in the Oakville location, pre-releases this Friday and Saturday for the new Final Fantasy set for Magic. This is a limited format. You will each get one of these kits if you arrive in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs, which we're going to be cracking for you guys today. And we're going to be learning how to build a deck out of this.
What's our promo?
Our promo is Edgar, King of Figaro. So here's a little promo stamp. It's in a lovely, lovely foil. I'm going to try to crack this open without damaging the card.
It's always tricky with these ones too, because
it's just a one card.
One card, it always feels like you're going to rip it open.
The stakes are so high. Legendary creature. Human Artificer Noble, he is a 6-mana 4/5. When Edgar enters, draw a card for each artifact you control. 2 headed coins. First time you flip 1 or more coins each turn. Those coins come up heads.
Oh yeah, this is the one that's pretty good in the heads you win, tails you lose. That you get to flip more.
Yes.
I remember seeing this spoiled, but yeah, this one's super good for that deck if you have that one.
There's also more stuff in here. Sorry, we're also discovering this kit at the same time that
we're
you guys are.
with you guys.
We've got this little cutie little card.
Now, I think it also bears note here that neither of us really has a lot of experience with Final Fantasy.
Yes, this is true.
We're both big pixel dorks, right?
Yes, I love like indie games and pixel games. Has a lot of bearing, and also worth of note, me, Mari, I have very limited experience with pre-releases. I mostly am a Commander player, and even that I'm not great at. So we're going to be finding out. We're going to be trying to figure this out.
We're going to figure this out together. I'm here to coach Mary through her first pre-release kit together, or not first pre-release, I guess. It's this one. It's I'm gonna help her out, try and figure out where we can kind of build towards. I don't know if Edgar's gonna probably make
factor in. It's pretty expensive mana-wise for a limited format like this, right?
Yeah, and what equates to essentially, if you ask me, it's a vanilla 4/5 that will draw 2 cards maybe if you're lucky on entry, if you're lucky in this format. But yeah, let's see what we can do. Edgar's not exactly the strongest starting point, but the good thing is that doesn't give us any direction. So we can pretty much go wild with whatever we want here. All right.
So last time I did pre-release, one of our lovely staff, Phil, it was actually the one to build my deck for me. Okay. So I have never built my own deck. I've played in pre-releases, but I've not built it. He mostly just was like, what kind of playstyle do you want to do? And then very quickly after he built his own deck, because he played in the same pre-release, which was Chaos, helped me build mine. So I know that when we did that, we just kind of sorted by color.
We're going to do that.
Is that what we're going to do? Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to start by sorting by color.
Perfect.
One of the things we're also doing, for simplicity's sake here for the viewers at home, we're going to move these guys off to the side here. So
white,
color.
red, black, green. I'm going to leave blue a little lower. Again, a colorless. And so I looked into some of the archetypes for this set. I'm still not super familiar, but are you looking for anything specific? When I'm opening
thing that I am looking for when I'm kind of building a pre-release deck is I'm looking for something that's going to signal me, hey, this is really, really powerful, and this is really telling me to go down this particular way. So one of the big things I look for are what we call two-color uncommon signposts.
These guys.
These guys here. So these are going to tell us what direction we can kind of go down. If we have a lot of these, we can typically try and go down that route. But another thing that I'll usually build my decks on, and something I would recommend doing, is separating off your rares. Rares will always be your most powerful cards, so you can always separate them out and kind of tell yourself, hey, I have these really strong cards. Ooh, a special guest card. Lightning Bolt?
Lightning
wow,
Bolt.
Yeah. Red's already looking playable.
There
That's a
we
very
go.
strong piece of removal to start.
Phenomenal news for me, especially because I love playing red. I love playing aggro. Me and Nikki, as we were going over this, were talking about the fact that I can't seem to get away from aggro as a kind of as a type, I guess, of play that I just keep going back to, because I personally really love with Commander not paying attention to anybody else's board and just paying attention to mine. However, in limited formats, you kind of have less leeway to do that. You kind of have to be really on brand, but I find it much easier, which is why I really like limited, despite not a lot of experience with it, because I feel like there is a little bit more room for me.
Very strong combo here.
Really? Okay, do we want to do this?
I would say yes.
Yeah?
We'll keep that aside because it's a very strong one. If you ask me. I really think that one's
Stop me
fan-frame.
whenever you see something of note.
Here we go. Shinoto. This one, again, what I was kind of saying, looking for those kind of signposts. And we know that black and red, or blue and red, are really strong for what we want to do and how we want to play. And there we go, another red rare here with our Zeldinge. And then we also may want to separate off our Lightning Bolt just because that's a very strong card there. Yeah. And then this is going to be a really, really strong card for you if we can go into this, into the artifact builds, because this is going to allow us to go search for a vehicle. And what I'm already noticing is if you look here, we already have Phantom Train. So we could play into that. We could have some sort of an artifact build with black-white if we wanted to. It's going to depend what the rest of our cards are going to point us towards here.
Sure.
And we're going to have to try and figure this out because this is kind of... I'm kind of seeing a trend of where I want to go, and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay. It's interesting to me that immediately, like, only, I guess we're most of the way through now, but how quickly, like, more experienced players will notice a trend versus me where I have to really take my time reading the card to kind of figure things out.
There we go. See, this is another thing that we're looking for as well. Because again, what I was saying with that is looking for those same kind of cards that are going to play into both our style and play into our into what we're looking for. A one-drop in red, especially one that's going to care about equipment spells, which we have 2 equipments.
Yes.
See how I'm seeing these
Got
things?
you.
We're looking for those synergies as they're developing and trying to find them.
Yes.
So again, we got the Summon Leviathan.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And
Mythic. And the Buster Sword? Oh, man, you didn't know that? Yeah, that's a really strong card. Very strong. Excellent. So, okay. So we're probably going to play some form of red equipment.
Okay.
Right? We can probably already we can go into that. And
Let's
we can
go
say
red.
we can pretty safely say that.
Start committing.
Start kind of hedging our bets towards that. Now it's going to be where do we want to kind of lean towards else? What other cards are going to support us with this? So far we have an uncommon signpost that points us towards blue. Our blue is strong. We do have the Leviathan. We have also all the Syncopate, the Iceland as well, 2 of those. We got a bunch of really good cards here. So we could lean into that. But white is also looking really appealing with these 2 Chocobos and that guy, or the Titus as well. We could do a chest guide deck if we get the support.
Nice. Okay. We shall find out. This one's land. There we go.
We're getting a lot of good lands now, that's for sure.
Yeah, we were saying that generally with this set, the lands have been pretty good, eh? This is our Ignis.
And then another red.
Another 1-drop red.
Equipment.
Oh.
Mary's getting her hopes up here. She might be hitting
Let's go aggro.
Let's go aggro. Hit him with a sword. Hit him with the sword.
Let's go fun swords.
All right. Final pack here.
It's got a little art card. So cutie. Look.
Moogle or Moogle.
Moogle?
Yeah, they're Moogles. Look.
That's not a real word.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Moogle.
Good King Moogle. Oh.
Good King Mod.
Oh.
I know a thing or two about a Final Fantasy.
Well, you'll have to guide me then, Gabe.
I don't know that much.
Enough to pretend.
Hill Giant or Hillgigus. Okay. Ash. Sandworm. Demon Wall.
Oh.
Alright. Alright.
And then here on Wild Rose. And then another land.
Okay.
Okay.
So, now we can pretty safely say that I think red is really playable.
Yes.
I think that red is a really, really strong playable pool. We've got a bunch of good support for our creatures and for our board state here, and red's probably going to be where we focus in on. Now what we got to do, we got to figure out what our primary focus on red is and what we want to do after that. So our splash options here are obviously all 4 colors, but what's the best splash that we want here? While I was kind of leaning towards blue at the beginning, what we got to look at with blue is how much passable low-cost stuff do we want.
Sure.
So
some of these dreams,
we're going to pull
them out.
Yeah, pull them out, put them into the frame for folks here so that we can see it home.
Oh. Sentinel, and then
it's not the strongest blue pool that I would say. We've got a few 1-drops, we got some 5-drops, and these are really the core of our deck. Would have to kind of focus on these guys, and then Shenanigan. And what keep blood Shenanigan. Let's also see if this is even synergistic. Whenever you cast a spell,
non-creature spell,
X's amount of mana, and then if X is 4 or more, we draw a card. So. Is that really something we really need to commit to? I don't really think it is. I don't think it's very strong. So let's immediately, in that case, we can pull out the blue cards and we can take those and shove those off into a pile. We're not going to play blue. We are pretty safely in that boat of not playing blue. We also can, in that case, take out our Summon Leviathan here. These guys are all going to go away, which kind of sucks.
Unfortunately, we are also saying goodbye to Titus.
Goodbye to Titus Himbo. Ye oldie Himbo.
Ye old Himbo.
Okay. So now let's think about the next color combinations. We have a really good amount of green cards here that we can play with, but I think what we kind of want to look at is we want to look the most at white. And why I think white is going to be our main focus here isn't because of the rare here that's going to focus us in here. It's actually because of the summon Chocos, and it's also because of the fact that we can hit a few other equipment.
Go.
Or artifact creatures. And then this is an equipment as well. I believe we hit another equipment here somewhere, right? We're not alone.
Sorcery.
But there is good creatures here that support the lower curve and allow us to do more with what we want. If I'm not mistaken, Ash herself, reveal an artifact card from among the cards.
There we go.
So if we want, and let's also think about this logically here. Now let's tabletop, okay?
Okay.
We're going to take a moment here and we're going to step back from what our cards are and we're going to think about what our player is.
Okay.
Our player is big smash, right?
Yes.
So do we even want to look down here at black and green and kind of look at what these are considering to us? We don't really have too much that really plays to what we want here. We've got a few high-costed things. Green would be potentially the only other place I would look to splash because we have the cheap-costed Chocobos, and we also have the T-Rex and Kina here. Kina is very good. Also another equipment, but the Chocos,
but the Chocos,
but the Choco and Mogs, these guys are really strong. It's a 3/3 for 3 that anthems the rest of your board for when it's there, for the rest of the time it's there. You get 4 turns in. That's so good.
Okay.
So this is very strong. It gives us a really good starting point. I think that pretty succinctly with that, we can kind of do one of these
and one of those.
All right. So
our piles go away.
So again, sometimes it's not about looking at what the best or what the rest of the cards are doing.
Mhm.
It's about looking at what your best options are. And
Sure.
considering what your best option is, red is 100% your best option here.
Mhm.
And what complements red's, your strength in red here is playing more into your artifacts and equipment so you're really pumping out this Buster Sword.
Okay.
So we're going to try and do Theon, Zeldinch, and the Buster Sword. I think are big bangers that are going to sit at the top of our curve and or actually not even top, they're in the middle of our curve.
They're right in the middle.
Amazing. And then we can just kind of go from here. And
Okay.
we're going to pull these guys. I don't think from father to son really makes our...
Makes much sense.
It doesn't make much sense. We don't have a single vehicle in our board, so we're not going to play it.
Sure.
But it's a good rare to get, nonetheless.
Yes. And just to reiterate, it is exactly 40 cards for pre-releases, isn't it? Or is it...
Minimum.
Minimum. Okay.
So we don't need to play the most. We can just play as many as we want. Or we can play as many as we want. I'm actually going to help you out a little bit. We're just going to do by mana cost.
Okay.
So also another really interesting thing to do here, everything that you're going to cast on the turn that you cast it, that it's castable on. So all the 3-drops that you're going to cast on 3,
Mhm.
put in a pile that are going to be up top. And then things like You're Not Alone. Do you really think we're going to cast You're Not Alone on turn 1?
No.
No. So obviously what we're going to do in that case is we're going to take You're Not Alone and we're going to just shift it down here. And it's going to sit in a pile aside from our real 1-drops because these are going to be things that we want to do.
We can do early game.
Yeah, these
versus...
are early game actions versus responsive late game. I have the mana to kind of do this.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So also
So-
our Buster Sword is going to go down here in our reactive pile as well. We're
Makes
going to take
sense.
our... I'll take your tokens.
Take my tokens away. Get them
Take
out of here.
your tokens. They're mine.
Do we want to revisit some of these colorless
Yes,
artifacts?
definitely. Let's take a look at what we got. We got
world map.
Stretch Sack for basic land, Blitzball, Iron Giant might be playable as a top end if we need it, Ring the Lich.
So this is sad for now.
The Monk's Fist will definitely play.
All
That
right.
is a definite
That
one
is a
we're gonna-
definite.
Yes.
We don't have a 2-drop though, so
So
let's
this
just
is
stick
gonna...
them here.
Yeah, well, this is... Yeah, this is actually a 2-drop that would go there because this is a job select one. So we're definitely going to play that as a 2-drop.
Mhm.
Safe enough that, we can get it... we can just play it out early. and be good.
Exactly.
The Instant Ramen, I don't think that that's super playable in this format,
Fair
unfortunately.
enough.
In this deck, we don't really need it. It's not going to do much for us. We don't have the any affinity or anything like that.
Mhm.
Let's put Iron Giant off to the side. I love Vin Diesel. Let's put him over here, just so because we know we might play him. I don't know about World Map. We'll see what we have for other 1-drop options, but I
Sure.
don't love it.
Go off the board for now.
Yeah. We'll put it with the Iron Giant.
Iron Giant.
And then same thing with the Blitzball and Poo Poo UFO we can definitely play.
Definitely play.
Definitely
Okay.
play because this is a 0/4 flyer, so that's an early blocker, but that can also ramp us. 'Cause
Lovely.
We can put lands into counts into
Great.
play.
And this seems a little expensive to me for
I
a
believe you're right.
for what it does.
It doesn't
so
seem
it's going to
super,
go with
super
instant
good.
ramen.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. So these were the 2 reds that we had tilted
100%.
to revisit.
These
And
are
we're
100%
gonna come
gonna
back.
play. 1-drop lightning bolt. You're never gonna be.
We're not
upset.
going to turn one.
Hmm.
This in particular, but this one is nice.
Yeah, we definitely will play her out turn 1. Freya is a really good 1-drop for the Boros deck.
So when you're laying out the cards like this to figure out what's good and what's less good,
Yes.
do you normally start by doing reevaluating, I guess, your curve, and then explore, or do you have an automatic?
So what I'm trying to do right now, as I'm working through my pile, and this is me kind of table talking here,
Mhm.
I'm also looking at the cards and determining what I call it's a term I lifted from baseball, which I know Chris would really love. Wins above replacement. So how many wins do I think that this card can get above its replacement within its pool?
See.
What if I'm evaluating this card? This is my 24th card. How much better is this going to be than something else? So something like Zeldinch, you can definitely play this out as a 3-drop and then get another 4-drop, another land out on that same turn, bounce it back to your hand, and it's a pretty good
Yes.
3-drop. It's not exactly going to be the best if you don't have a lot of lands to play out, but you can pretty effectively play this out. When I'm looking at this curve, I'm trying to see if there's things that I don't want to play more than anything.
Sure.
And with the way that modern Magic is designed, we're not we're not looking so much for trap cards anymore. It used to be like, hey, this is a card that's stone unplayable. You don't play this in any format. Nowadays, it's a lot more of, this card's not really as good as something else that's replacing it, so maybe you don't want to play this instead of something else. So, looking at what we have here, we do have some really good stuff here.
So immediately, this is a no for me. I feel like, is that an incorrect?
When this creature enters, destroy target land, its controller.
This seems a little heavy mana cost and doesn't care about equipment as much. Do we table this?
I think we table that for now, because I would think that if I'm looking at that high end, even though that's got haste, I kind of want that Iron Golem better, or the Iron Giant, because that thing is a 7-drop, is just better.
Yes.
He's like, I mean, we're gonna stand Vin Diesel at this table tonight, so I'm just like, yeah, he's great. Family. I think we have to play the Coral Sword, because it's another equipment. Just every time, if we see that equipment type line, we should be just prioritizing that and throwing that into our. And this is a job select. Is it job select?
It does not.
It does not job select.
So
yeah, we're gonna put it in our bottom pile. Yeah, it's a bottom. All right. Whenever you cast at least 4 mana for Sword spell, put 1 counter, and then this has sacrifice it, deals damage up to the power target creature. So it's 1-drop that we could also just give equipment to, and then if we're casting big equipment, it could also get stuff. But again, let's consider now war, right? The same acronym that I just gave you before. What do we feel our wins above replacement is here with Blazing Bomb versus the rest of our 1-drop curve?
Yeah,
I don't think
it makes the cut.
I don't think it wheels, because I think that Freya and these 2 other really strong red one drops are taking its spot. So we'll just bail on that. We don't need it.
Yeah.
I think that the Item Shopkeeper is definitely playable here. This is a 100% playable card. Equip creatures gaining menace. Super strong for what we're doing. We're literally just attacking the equip creatures, so I'd say that goes right there. Both job select equipments make the main board easy. And then we'll keep, what we're going to do is we're going to weed down from there, because Sabatender. I don't know about how much I want to play this, but what we're going to look at, though, is our 2-drop slot. Relatively light, so I think we're kind of priced into playing this. Also, we're also gonna move the 4-drop artifact up to the 4-drop slot. So I think we're kind of unfortunately priced into playing that because of our relative light selection. Light of Judgment. I think Light of
Judgment is a little much.
It is a much, but it's a really good sideboard option. I think it's a really good sideboard option, something that you bring in if you really need that removal.
Sideboard.
And then call the Mountain Chocobo, search your mountain, reveal it, put it into your hand, create a 2/2 bird. I don't know, we're not really doing that much landfall shenanigans. We have the 1 landfall thing, and it's put the mountain in hand. Do we really need it? And a 2/2 for 4 mana. How much impact do you think that those have?
I think not much, especially for the mana cost. If it was 1 or 2 pips cheaper, I might consider it a little longer.
I would 100% agree with that assessment of that. All right, now we got side quest playing Blitzball. At the end of beginning combat, target creature gets +2/+0 in combat if a creature was built. Transform it and then attach it, which makes it into
Western Weapon.
Double Strike in red. I think this is just like we wheel this right into the gear. It makes a double striking equipment. Yeah, boy. And then the Hill Gigas, 100% playable. That is a perfect top end for us. The mountain cycling on this will come up way more than you realize. It's going to smooth out this really light 2-drop slot that we already have here. So this is going to play double duty in here, and you're going to have that nice ability to kind of play around. Cool? Yes. Cool. Let's look at our white now.
The white. All right.
Ooh, definitely want to play the tiered one. Tiered is immediately hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. This thing is playable in Commander, even, I would say.
Yes.
It is strong.
Nice, beautiful 1-drop.
Beautiful 1-drop. Deals 4 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Another target creature. For 4, I don't know if we want to really play that. It's kind of weak. not exactly what we need. I'd say we can cut that pretty easy.
Sure. Even with the flying, you think?
Even with the flying, because I think this for 3 is stronger. Because that's got vigilance.
Vigilance, yes.
And remember,
artifacts +2/+0. Very nice. Yeah.
we can find better for cheaper. Are you kidding me? What is this, McDonald's? Okay, the crystal chosen.
Live better, Final Fantasy.
What? I think the crystal's chosen. We can pretend. We'll just throw that to the wind. I don't think we need that. It's a 7 mana sorcery, do nothing. Take the elevator in Earth's Refuge. I think that we're going to wheel this one as well. We don't really need that. I think we're going to play the Quirrell as well, because this thing is actually a tapper is very, very good. Okay, so now we are at the point where we have a skeleton. We'll move this guy over with the sandworm, and then the sandworm can go over there, and then just move. Let's put Iron Giant into the 7-drop slot. Why not? Just put him there. Why not? We'll see. Just see what he looks like in there. And the rest of those, I don't think we're gonna play those. We'll keep them on the side. I know that Light of Judgment is gonna 100% be something that you're gonna want to play as a sideboard option in case you go against something like an Iron Giant or something. So it's gonna be playable in that. Let's count out where we're at. 21, 22, 23, 24. That's your deck.
That's my deck.
Hey, now, you could flex this around. We could play with this. We could play with the numbers. We could change some of these cards out. Maybe Zell isn't exactly what we want in this 3-drop slot. Maybe we want to change Zell out for something that we cut, like the instant ramen or something, or the blitzball. Those would be potentially also good choices here. But I feel like where we're at currently with this selection of cards is very strong, because you will be able to do some pretty powerful stuff with this. Even if Zell gets killed or something, like, he still did 2 land drops and stuff like that. Like this, I'd probably split us up 50-50 on our lands. Call it 16. What do we got for mana base support there?
Let's get rid of there's a red-green.
Oh, I love it.
And interesting 2-life colorless.
Okay, we can definitely play that.
Tap add for colorless. Pay
Fixing
1,
and cycling. We'll play that too.
Discard that one, and then this island enters taps as it enters
Perfect. So we'll play. We won't play the reactor town.
Yeah.
We don't really need that. But if we play these 3 mana lands, then we have a pretty good cut of non-basics. So then that would put us at 13. So we sleeve up 6 and 7, and then I'd say we lean 7 towards our red, because we have a lot of red in the double pips up here.
Yes.
So then 6 of these guys and 7 of those guys, and we're good.
Perfect. All right.
All right.
We're gonna go visit a draft box, and then
we'll be right back. We'll grab those and we'll sleeve this up as well. So here's our deck. This is what we decided to go with. Our microphones died a little bit while we were putting this all sleeved up, so we're going with the camera audio now. So yeah, how do you feel about this, Mary? How do you
feel pretty good. I am, as things are kind of laid out, a lot of plays are becoming a little bit more clear. I feel pretty good about the curve as well. I like that this is a lot more full than this end.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate that. And I like having a little bit of instance, but I'm glad that there's not too many, because I think it'll be a lot to juggle. Yeah, and your equipments and your instance here kind of also really play into your the rest of your plays here, right? Because you have stuff like the Corral Sword here, which is going to equip at instant speed as well and give first strike. So this gives you not only something that's going to play into the rest of our strategy here of globally wanting equipment, but this also gives you that extra little bit of reach, gives you that extra bit of play. If as we saw, we had the 5-drop removal spell there, Light of Judgment. Light of Judgment. And that's also going to be a very good option for you to bring in if you have high-end creatures that you need to take care of. Say you're going against Sephiroth or something that you really want to take care of and kill quickly. You have that as a nice sideboard option there. Cost-wise, you've got high-end stuff that can also be low-end stuff, which is
really, really good to have. And then you've got a really high-end beater that's playing into the rest of your strategy. How do you feel about this? Do you feel confident going into Friday this weekend?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is great. Like little bit of prep time, and the deck building is always the thing that I find most stressful. Going into pre-releases and things like that, especially as a newbie, just because sometimes you're overwhelmed by choice. Like, you guys scrub back a few minutes if you're watching this video and see how full the board was when we started, and how much text there is to read. But honestly, the little draft insert was pretty helpful in determining it. And of course, Gabe, bring a friend to pre-releases. If it's your first time coming to pre-releases, honestly, bring someone else. A second set of eyes makes all the difference, and if it's an experienced second set of eyes, you truly cannot complain.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were aiming to do today, right? I wanted to kind of showcase, somebody who's a little bit less experienced working alongside somebody who's more experienced. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I think you'll notice today in the experience that you had with this is we spent about half an hour building this deck in total. Mm-hmm. How long did we spend reading cards?
Not very long.
Not very long. Yeah. The thing that we spent reading cards on was we spent reading cards looking for key things that we really wanted to play in our deck. We were really trying to find if there's something we didn't recognize or some sort of strategy that we weren't seeing. That was when we were reading the cards. Yeah. But otherwise, we just kind of put everything into a pile. We knew based on what our rares were, what direction we wanted to take the pool in, and the rest of the deck kind of builds itself for the most part.
Yeah.
And
looking just for the word equipment is really helpful. Yeah. And just the word artifact is, and job select, famously a great new mechanic. Reading the card explains it for the most part.
Definitely.
Which will happen later.
All right.
But generally, with the mana costs, and it kind of seems like it's going to play itself this weekend. So, Friday, Saturday, boys, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, I'll be here for Friday for sure, and I'll probably be here Sunday as well for
draft.
Yeah, yes, draft, and doing both my first tournament and judging for the pre-release event. So that'll be fun.
Very exciting. To have a judge for pre-release will be very helpful as well, especially with all the new mechanics, which we always go over and before every pre-release anyway. But it is always helpful to have a reminder there.
Hey, guess what? That video is linked in the cards. That video is going to be linked in the cards. The video that me and Dave made, that's going to be linked in the cards, so you can click right up here, I'm going to say, and you can click that and you can go watch that right now.
Thanks, editor.
All right.
Gabe?
That's me. Anyways,
Editor Gabe.
Mary, thank you so much for building this with me today. I had a blast. I'm sure you did as well. We'll get this all ready to go, and we'll play this on over the weekend.
Yeah, thanks for letting me ask a million questions, and I'll see you guys this weekend if you're at the store.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, bye.